want to say thank you. Thank you. I want to say thank you. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, healing, healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Y'all can sing along if you want. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day.
Yay. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody? Good. I'm out of breath. Okay, I'm messing up with the microphone. Never mind. Hi, everybody. I'm not Reverend Mike. He is at home recovering from a little facial surgery. And he would have scared the living daylights out of everybody if he'd come in this morning. So we gave him the day off. And I am the substitute from the Institute. My name is Maureen Hoyt, and I'm the former minister here. 14 and a half years I spent here. And so this morning, you got me. If you wanted to hear Reverend Mike, come back next Sunday, because you'll hear him next Sunday, or Wednesday for the Thanksgiving Eve service. That would be great too. So what we do here on Sunday morning, our call to service is called Lighting the Flames of Faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from that one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. As Reverend Nancy lights the first candle, it is for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. The second candle we light for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. The third candle we light for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light the 10th candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them at this center, and as Reverend Mike would say, in our hearts. And as Reverend Nancy lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
In recognition of this light within, I am grateful and truly appreciate the opportunity to recognize with each one of you that divine presence, that all-knowing power, that which brought everything into expression. The wonder of it, that it brought us into expression. Knowing that we are here to expand our understanding and appreciation of being who and what we are. And as we open our minds and our hearts, we allow that which to come forth, whether it's from a greeting, the music, the beautiful music, even the sound that is directed, every aspect, and the message that's delivered. All of it brings us into a high level of awareness of the greatness that is within each and every one of us. Knowing that this time and this place and this energy in this center is one of love, one of joy, one that is appreciative of the power that has been gifted through the words, the thoughts, and the expressions that flows through us, for us, and as us. And so in this place of being grateful, we release into expression that which flows from within our hearts, knowing that the love that guides and directs every word, every thought, and every message blesses us. And we accept that as we say together, and so it is. Good morning. I was given the opportunity to stand up here, kind of with this shifting around of who's on the podium. And so, it's nice faces before me. So I want to share something about being grateful. I had one of those aha, God is here moments this week. So I have to share it with you. My niece gifted her mother with a trip, a cruise, 4-day cruise. And she really wanted her to like it because they wanted her to start going with them on cruises. So she gave her the presidential suite, and so she wouldn't be alone, I was invited. So I was gifted with that, and it was awesome. Yeah, and she's the sister. I mean, I had 5 sisters. She was the one that we did everything together. Climb out the window when Mama thought we were in bed and all that kind of stuff. So we had the best time. And she's extremely spiritual. So, that was a major plus. And we were on the ship. I mean, we had a living room, a bedroom, a couple of bathrooms. It was amazing. And then we went out on this terrace, and I said, oh, my God. Because she said, I don't know. It's a lot of water out there. I don't know if I want. So we came out on the terrace, and the sun was shining. And, it looked like it made a path right to our terrace. And I stood there, and I saw this rainbow. Oh, my God. It formed while I was standing there. All of a sudden, this big rainbow. I mean, it went from, it was like, it was over us. And so I'm out there dancing, and so God is good. Because it had been raining. And so now the sun and this rainbow, and I was feeling all good. And I said, Becky, you got to come out here. She said, well, okay. I said, come on out. So she came out. And I don't know how, but the second rainbow came up. Two rainbows. And while we were standing there, the way the boat was driving, all of a sudden, both rainbows seemed to be in the water right in front of us, right off the boat. It was one of them, and then she got happy. She's a traditional church. And she was dancing and preaching to me and talking about how good God was. And I was standing there saying, oh, God, this is unbelievable. But it was the most, I got pictures of it. I got to figure out how to show it to somebody. But it's just beautiful how God just said, welcome, come on. And it was just a phenomenal experience. And I am so grateful to, and I said, this is one of them God moments that I say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank y'all for letting me share that.
Let's share the spirit of grace and embrace everybody. Let's light a candle and pray on this Thanksgiving Day. Let's share a moment of love, reach out and touch, 'cause there are no strangers. Let's light a blessed flame on this Thanksgiving Day. And here now, face to face, with grateful thanks and love today, we have come together, joined as one, stronger than ever. Let's share the spirit of peace. Let our actions speak louder than words. And let the fires of hope stay long after Thanksgiving Day. And here now, face to face, with grateful thanks and love today, we have come together and joined as one, stronger than ever. So let's share the spirit of peace. Let our actions speak louder than words, and let the fires of hope stay long after Thanksgiving Day. And let the fires of hope stay long after Thanksgiving Day.
Beautiful. Oh, wow. Perfect song. Perfect day. So for the announcements, if you really want to tune up, spread that good that you're getting, that's what you're thankful for, get a practitioner to say a treatment for you so it gets even bigger. And you can always reach a practitioner on CSLGH.org, which is our website. This coming Wednesday, we are inviting you to come back and just share with either whatever it is that you're grateful for at night. I know that we all, that was what Andrea talked about before in the service. When you open your heart, thankful, you welcome Spirit in. So we're going to do that Wednesday. So we will invite all of you to come and share with us. And that is going to be facilitated by Reverend Mike and the practitioners. What is this? The giving? Oh, they're decorating the giving bags out there. So if you want to participate in sharing things for the unhoused and people of need, not only can you donate, but you can also help by drawing and coloring the bag so that which we pass out will be look pretty. So we're going to start. We started now, and we'll be doing that until December, the second week of December. So if you want to help, you can do nothing but paint a bag or bring a gift. I think that's all. Did I miss something? Oh, we also doing what did you call it? A gift? Raffle for the trip to Tahoe. So if you wanted to have a stocking stuffer, buy a raffle ticket, and we're going to be doing that between now and December. And it's for 7 nights and $125 that you can win. So it is a good stocking stuffer. Just imagine if you gave somebody that for Christmas. So do that for us. And I'm supposed to be reading this prayer. Reverend Mike wanted us to move into the consciousness of giving, because November is a thankful month to be in. So this is the prayer. Please join me in knowing continued blessings for our Granada Hills community during this centennial year. In this sacred moment, we affirm a continued unfoldment of good, that Granada Hills and the neighboring communities continue to thrive as places of harmony, creativity, prosperity, and inclusion. May every person be uplifted by the recognition of our common source. May our collective intentions continue to shape a future rich in peace, compassion, prosperity, and joy. We give thanks for 100 years, and that's 100 years for Granada Hills community. Knowing together the guiding hand of the Most High is lighting the way to the best yet to be. And so it is. Amen. So now we just stand and say the Declaration of Principles. Oh,
No, I'll do it after this.
Okay, all right.
we believe that our faith operates upon a law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity and immortality of the individual soul forever. We believe in eternal goodness, loving kindness, and forgiveness of all. Sorry, Teresa.
No, this is just right. Y'all sing with me, okay? Heaven's inside of me. Heaven's inside of me. Oh, a spirit and nature within and without. Now that I know that God's right here, right now. Heaven's inside of me. Heaven's inside of you. Heaven's inside of you. Oh, a spirit and nature within and without. Now that I know that God's right here, right now. Heaven's inside of you. Heaven's inside of us. Heaven's inside of us. Oh, a spirit and nature within and without. Now that I know that God's right here, right now. Heaven's inside of us. Heaven's inside of us. Heaven's inside of us.
Yay. Thank you, Nancy. I can just imagine you in the presidential suite. I mean, I've been on those ships where you have one little teeny tiny bathroom, 2 single beds, and it's a long time to be in the same room with somebody you hardly know. I just have to mention that. But the presidential suite, something else. Well, good morning again, everybody, and welcome to all the in-person folks and those on the live stream. Bonjour, Thibault. He is one of our faithful watchers from France and a friend of Margie Roverino. So I just want to say about Reverend Mike, he's recovering from some surgery to remove some surface basal cell carcinoma from his face. And that's sort of what comes with being of white Irish heritage, you know. He loves being out in the sun, and he hikes probably 2 or 3 times a week up to the top of O'Melveny Park, and very often doesn't think about putting on sunscreen. So now you know that's what you're supposed to do. This is your mother telling you. When I first saw this title, oh, you decorated it. How nice, thank you. When I first saw this title, I thought, I am not going to have much to say about my relatives. But then I realized this kith and kin was a phrase that I was raised in Canada, was a phrase that I heard a lot while I was growing up, and I never really understood the meaning of it. And kith and kin has more to do with the profound connections between all things, from wildlife to bacteria and everything in between. And the people who did the notes for this Sunday, I got so fascinated with it, I went down the rabbit hole on Google. And I had so much fun when I was looking things up yesterday. But each of us plays a vital role. in our unique ecosystems. And some of you who are more scientific than I am, you would understand ecosystems and environment. And we don't realize that we're doing this. How can understanding and appreciating this relationship transform our world or have anything to do with spirituality? As I continued reading, I discovered it has a lot to do with spirituality. Kin is short for kindred and represents the earth and all of us who dwell therein. The rooted, the feathered, the furred, the scaled are our relations, according to what I was reading. Our dear kindred, we're all connected. Kin is from the Old English of the same kind. Together we're made of fine things: clay, salt, water, stardust. If you've ever read the Irish poet John O'Donoghue, you will know that he talks about that in his book Anam Cara, about when we meet someone for the first time. It's like our two clays separated years and years ago and then came back together, and there's that instant recognition. You know, why do we have that feeling about somebody that we know them from somewhere? Well, it really probably isn't the physical person, but it's the energy. We recognize the energy that's congruent with our energy. And we live in a wild communion of absolute mutual dependence, it goes on to say, connected in our ancestry and our continuation. So kith, on the other hand, kithship is intimacy with the landscape in which we dwell, and we are entangled. In modern English, even in England, where the expression originated, kith and kin, maybe that's why being in Canada, that's a lot of that filtered down to us after we gave up the Queen as nothing other than our figurehead. But you know, kith and kin are mistakenly conflated into one meaning. And it's about our relatives, talking about our relatives, those who are close to us. How does all this relate to the science of mind? Well, one of the major statements by Ernest Holmes: we believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. That's one of the classic statements by Ernest Holmes. So given that all creation is an expression of God itself, it's imperative that we reconsider our understanding of and our relationship to nature. This is important. Historically, our teaching has sometimes been narrowly interpreted as a means to manifest personal dreams. You know, maybe a lot of us came here because we heard that someone in our office or a friend of ours had wonderful demonstrations in their lives by coming to this place called the Center for Spiritual Living. And that, while it's not untrue, that's not the reason we ultimately stay here. We come here for certain things, but we stay here for our own level of spirituality. Often it's, demonstrating or manifesting more because it really has no agency to it, is often without regard to the planet or the consequences of increased consumption of certain things. We're becoming more and more aware of that today, about do we have an unlimited resource of minerals and oil and all those kinds of things that we use on a daily basis without thinking about it. It is now time for us to deepen our comprehension of the spiritual truth of oneness, encompassing the entire planet and all life on it. This struck me when I was doing this popped up. This is the two symbols represent music and medicine. Our ancestors believed that music had the power to harmonize the soul in a way that traditional medicine could not. In ancient China, one of the earliest uses of music was healing. The Chinese character for medicine actually comes from the character for music. Now, there are a couple of really interesting reels on TV of this guy who goes to zoos and areas of quarantine for animals and shelters and sits and sings with his guitar. Mind you, with the wild animals, he has a big fence between him and the animals. I just want to point that out. He's not being ridiculous in what he does, but he plays his guitar and sings. And the one that struck me was going to a reserve area where the giraffes and the elephants came right up to the fence. And the elephants put their, whatever they call those, their snouts, their noses, over top of the fence and wanted to touch him because he was playing this music and singing to them. And the giraffes came and brought their babies to come and listen to this guy. Okay, I digress. So when I was a teenager, I worked in the Kootenai National Park every summer from the time I was 14 until the time I was 17. And I lived with two roommates in a one-bedroom basement apartment in below the house of the people who owned the place where I worked. And I worked as a maid cleaning the cabins at Mount Farnham Bungalows for the unbelievable salary of $60 a month. I thought I was the richest person on earth. I did. When you're 14, figure it out. There were always people around. So I explored the forest around me and found a perfect place of peace close to Sinclair Creek and away from everyone. It was my sanctuary. After a day of work, I would go there. And the music of the rushing creek and the wind blowing through the trees and the buzzing of bees and other insects served to make my meditation time one of my fondest childhood memories. So Shakespeare was right. Music hath charms to soothe the savage breast, right? When we expand our awareness in this way, it becomes incompatible with our valued teachings to harm the earth for personal comfort, convenience, or pleasure. We become aware. We become self-aware on so many different levels. We are called to a new understanding where we utilize the creative process and our ability to demonstrate good and to foster healing for this planet and all its inhabitants. So what does that mean for us? What does that mean? It's not unlike the medical doctor's admonition, do no harm. Do no harm. If you can't change something, just don't hurt it. Whatever comes up, right? In other words, take care of the earth. In an era marked by two-day shipping, sprawling grocery stores taking up city blocks, and 24-hour conveniences like DoorDash, it's easy to feel disconnected from our immediate environment. The invitation today is to reconnect with a heartfelt awareness of our surroundings, cultivating a sense of kinship with everything in it, whether rocks, plants, wildlife, buildings, people, or cars. One of our staff ministers, Reverend Jeannie Hoffman, you haven't lived until you've sat in her backyard. I mean, it is just the most amazing space. She has taken it to another dimension, plants, flowers, succulents. She has orioles, yellow orioles that come and sit on her trees and feed off the bird feeders that she has back there. She is creating her mile, if you will, her environment. I'm sure that's why Reverend Mike hikes up to O'Malveny a couple of times a week. It's why I go to Sycamore Cove Beach in the summertime every other week when it's hot. Not just because it's hot, because I'm always hot. But in the process, my ions are restored by sitting close to the water. By being at the water, it soothes the savage beast in me. And I do have a savage beast. I may look complacent on the outside, but there's like roiling going on inside me right now because I've never experienced what's going on in the same way, except maybe in the 60s. As some of you know, I marched down Montgomery Street with my placard with Angela Davis for what I thought was civil rights turned into women's rights, which turned into human rights. Again, I digress. So the sound of the waves, the smell of the sea, and the sight of the vast ocean have a calming effect that reduces stress hormones. It's not just about me, it's about all of us. All of us, we need to be around water periodically. Not just to take a shower, although that's water too, right? That's a way in which to meditate while you're doing your shower, but maybe not for a half hour. The stress hormones like cortisol, when you're sitting by the ocean, it promotes a sense of tranquility that we might not otherwise have when we're at home with the distraction of the TV and the noises of our neighbors and cars going up and down the street. We all know that exposure to sunlight increases vitamin D and serotonin. Those are good things. Boosting mood, while physical activity and walking on the sand can release endorphins. You know, why is it that I feel so good coming back from the ocean that I wouldn't want to go, I would want to go there every day instead of every week? Negative ions in the sea breeze also contribute to improved mood and a sense of peace. I knew something was different about me when I came back, but after reading these cliff notes and doing my research, I found out there's a reason for everything. You know, often we talk about returning to nature or needing to escape to natural spaces. Yet humans, everyone here is human, right? Okay, good. Are fundamentally part of nature. We are mammals intricately woven into the fabric of the natural world. From this perspective, there is no separation from nature. There is no separation from God. There's that oneness thing again. Everything is inherently natural and everything is inherently godlike. It may not seem like that on the surface, but sometimes when we look back at things in retrospect, it is true. Everything is inherently godlike. You know, Reverend Nancy is a really powerful being to create two simultaneously blooming rainbows. You know, I just think sometimes that when we're ready to have a shift in consciousness, God's at the helm. You know, the force, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Regardless of whether we reside in rural, suburban, or urban, or even mixed environments, there's an opportunity to develop connection with our personal square mile. By spending time in communion with our surroundings, we begin to recognize our interdependence. You know, first there's dependence, then there's codependence, then there's dependence, and then there's interdependence, the best place to be, knowing that we're all connected. We begin to recognize our interdependence in every single element, every single element. The roads facilitate our mobility. The buildings shelter our community. And the rain nourishes the land while cleansing it of debris, ensuring safer travel. I'm sure some of us must have thought after almost 10 days of solid rain, more rain than we've had in the history of recorded history, in November, by the way. We were tired of it by that time. But today, driving into church, the sky is blue, the snow's on the mountains, the grass is turning green. It's quite spectacular. You know, the rain, while inconvenient, served a purpose. Whoops. Oh, rats. I didn't put the picture into the, darn. Ah, rats. Okay. Well, all right. When I was a kid, my dad used to pile all of us in the car, 4 kids. My sister had already left home by that time. And we would go up to a place called White Swan Hot Springs by Canal Flats, British Columbia. We traveled on a dirt road to get there, seeing all kinds of wildlife along the way. Now, the river alongside these hot springs is freezing cold. But the hot springs coming out of the earth, not unlike anywhere else you'd go for hot springs, the temperature is probably between 90 and 114 degrees. So we would go, even in the wintertime, and sit in those hot springs. You know, there were these little pockets all around the periphery of the river that had these little pockets of thermally heated water. And they were delightfully warm until they weren't. You know, at some point you get in there and you're really hot. So the thing is you go put your feet in the river. You don't get in the river because it would take you along with it, but you put your feet in the river to cool down. And then you go back to the hot springs. The funny part of it is, as a kid, I thought that everybody had places like this in their backyard until I moved to California. The thing is I cherish those memories because we couldn't afford to go to the hot springs that had the hotels and the big swimming pools and everything. But he took us to have the experience of the hot springs in a very different way. Through contemplation and engagement with our immediate environment, we gain a profound understanding of our place in the world and come to appreciate that everything, from the familiar to the seemingly mundane, is part of the natural order. You know, when I sat there in those hot springs, I was with, some days, if it was on the weekend, there would be maybe 100 people dotted up and down the edge of the river, sitting in these pockets of hot water. And I wondered, why did they all show up at the same time we came? You know, what was that all about? But even as a kid, I wondered about, why am I here? Kind of questions, which is why I think I became a difficult child in catechism when I was growing up. You know, some relationships with fellow creatures can prove more challenging than others. This is not all hunky-dory stuff today, folks, I gotta tell you. I'm contending with some critters at my house that have burrowed under my house by digging through the dirt behind my house. Now, my cat was the first thing to let me know that there was something under the house. She would sit by the floor vents and just stare at them like something was there. And I knew something was there because I could hear them under the house. She could hear them too, I'm sure. You know, it's often easier to appreciate the beauty and value of wildflowers blooming along the highway, but it can be more demanding to recognize the worth and importance of beings we've categorized as vermin, such as rats, mice, squirrels, raccoons, and opossums. But these creatures, though less favored by many, play essential roles in maintaining the health and balance of our local environment and our personal square mile. Last winter, the rats began chewing through the wires in my car. And I went to get an oil change, and the guys at California Tire said, you know, you can prevent that from happening. And I said, really? I said, what am I supposed to do? He said, get bounce dryer sheets and put them in the four corners of the engine of your car. You will not have rats eating your wires because they cannot stand the smell of the perfume smell that comes off the dryer sheets. So every 3 months, I put brand new dryer sheets in the four corners of my car. I don't have to have an exterminator come and do what exterminators do because the rats hate the fragrance of those dryer sheets and they no longer mess with my car. Good idea, right? I'm even grateful for critters I didn't like after reading the talk notes today. Possums and opossums, for instance, are crucial for controlling insect populations, including reducing ticks that carry Lyme disease. Who knew? Who knew? They're not attractive animals. I mean, possums are not nice looking. And aiding in organic matter decomposition, thereby fostering a healthier ecosystem. Interesting, huh? Interesting. Rats and mice contribute to plant propagation by dispersing seeds and serve as prey for various predators. Now I know where that rogue cherry tomato bush came on the side of my house. I mean, my daughter told me at one point I would give her a report on what was going on with the tomato bush. And she said, you should write a story about that. Well, pretty soon the raccoons came. No more tomatoes. No more tomatoes. Now, raccoons do help maintain the balance by controlling insects and rodent populations, dispersing seeds, and enriching the soil. Now, pigeons play a significant role in urban ecosystems, also by dispersing seeds and assisting in waste management by consuming food scraps. I still have an issue with pigeons, since one pooped on my ice cream cone as I was walking through Union Square in San Francisco a while back. I went to take a lick. I stopped before I did. I dropped it right on the ground. It was like a hot potato in my hand. And Heather thought it was hysterical. Well, not so funny. So every organism, oh gosh, what did I do here? Let's get that back. Every organism, no matter how small or seemingly inconsequential, plays a vital role in the intricate web of life in our planet. Think on that for a second. Think about every organism. And it's essential to acknowledge and respect and express gratitude for their contributions around us. So we have a call to action. Now is the moment to embark on a journey of deeper understanding of oneness. Sai Baba said, whatever books we may read, we cannot realize the divine merely by intellectual effort. We must put it into practice. The sense of oneness can only be promoted by the practice of love and not by other means. One of my teachers used to say, a student would say, well, how do I get there? Practice, practice, practice. That's how we get there. It's the proverbial 18-inch journey from the head to the heart. Some of us have a hard time with that journey because we want to intellectualize spirit when what we really need to do is spiritualize the intellect. In this interconnected web of existence, the distinctions between creation, creator, and the created blur into seamless unity. Seamless unity. To foster harmony and coexistence, it's imperative that we extend our respect, honor, and care to every facet of the unified whole. By embracing this holistic perspective, we cultivate a world where each being thrives. Oh, that was probably from the maple syrup I had on my toast this morning. Anyway, I'm sorry. We cultivate a world where each being thrives, and where our collective well-being is intricately intertwined with the well-being of the planet and its inhabitants. Let us take deliberate steps to recognize the inherent worth of all life forms, from the smallest microorganisms to the grandest landscapes. Through conscious actions rooted in reverence and stewardship, we can forge a future that embraces diversity, promotes sustainability, and nurtures a deep-seated connection to the earth. Together, let us commit to creating a world that not only works for us, but also honors and supports the intricate tapestry of life that sustains us all. Sri Chinmoy says, oneness is the only relationship that can forever last, because all human beings are conscious or unconscious sharers of one divine and supreme reality. Which one are we, conscious or unconscious? I would venture to say that you're here because you are conscious. You are here because you have adapted a certain level of oneness already in maybe your daily meditation and your prayer work. It is really about being grateful for both kith and kin and all people, the ones we love, the ones we tolerate, all animals, birds, fish, and the annoying ants that invade my kitchen periodically. Well, the Dalai Lama said one time when someone asked him, I went to hear him speak when he was first moving around the country at Santa Barbara, at UC Santa Barbara. And one woman asked a question at the end, well, what do you do about cockroaches? And he said, well, some have a lesser life experience, he said. So I took that to mean that it was all right to mitigate a cockroach infestation. So maybe this week you'll find time to sit by the ocean for an hour or so, or in your backyard, in your garden, or swim in your pool, or just take a shower that's a little bit longer, knowing that water is representative of God. And when you're standing in the shower, God is washing over you. When you come back restored, share the feeling with someone else that they too can feel the oneness of God through revitalization. Knowing with God, all things are possible. Would you join me in consciousness just for a minute? And as we go within, we get to think about, what is my square mile? Is it just the simple space in which I live? Or is it every place that I go is my square mile? Every person I meet is in my square mile. Every animal that wanders around is a part of my square mile. Every flower that blooms, every tree that stands tall, all of it is part of my square mile, because it's the moment of awareness that we seek out there somewhere, but that provides us a moment of self-awareness with a capital S, God awareness, that we live in this multifaceted universe that provides for us everything that we need: housing, water, food, electricity, gas for our cars. Everything that we need is right here for the asking. And so we know that we are privileged in some ways, that we are privileged by the very idea of living in this area. We are privileged by the beautiful weather. We are privileged by the conveniences that we have around us. We are privileged to own pets that love us, like perhaps no one else has ever loved us before or in the future. And so we know today that that element of oneness is all around us. It is there for our awareness of it. And when we become more self-aware, We've become more aware of our environment, and it is a good thing, a very good thing. So from this place in consciousness, I joyfully receive and give thanks, knowing for sure today, I know unequivocally that God is in the mix, all is well, as we say together, and so it is.
Some days we forget to look around us. Some days we can't see the joy that surrounds us. So caught up inside ourselves, we take when we should give. So for tonight, we pray for what we know can be, and on this day, we hope for what we still can't see. It's up to us to be the change. And even though we all can still do more, there's so much more to be thankful for. Look beyond ourselves. There's so much sorrow. It's way too late to say I'll cry tomorrow. And each of us must find our truth. It's so long overdue. So for tonight, we pray for what we know can be. And on this day, every day, we hope for what we still can't see. It's up to us to be the change. And even though we all can still do more, there's so much more to be thankful for. Even with our differences, there's a place where we're all connected. Each of us can find each other's light. It's up to us to be the change. And even though we all can still do more, there's so much to be thankful for.
You know, Teresa James is one of my favorite all-time musicians. Yeah. You know, we think that she's our church person on Sunday, but if you've never gone to one of the concerts with the whole band behind her, do avail yourselves of that. You will be like Nancy. You can't stop getting up and dancing. You know, you can't. Plus, Raspin Stewart was very impressed with you being in the audience. So maybe you're more famous than we think you are. Yes. Thank you. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. So this is our time of conscious giving, and Chloe is going to bring the basket up for us, as she does almost every Sunday. We're so grateful for Chloe. So if you have something to bring to put in the basket this morning, please do so. Come up anytime now. But as we sing our song, everybody sing together.
Spirit gives through me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me, Spirit gives and breathes through me, Spirit gives through us, Spirit receives through us, Spirit lives and breathes through us, Spirit lives and breathes through us.
You know, I watch Antiques Roadshow regularly on TV, and last night I was waiting for another show to come on, and so I watched it. And they had on a series of people who had brought things to Antiques Roadshow to where they were showing what the original value was and the increased value or the loss in value today. And one of my most favorite Antiques Roadshow was in 1999. And I talk about this in my prosperity classes. These two young girls, their mother was driving down the street in New York City and saw this actually kind of a butt ugly lamp sitting on the side of the curb for the trash to be picked up. But the mother saw something in the lamp and she picked it up and brought it home. And her two girls were going off to university and they could use a lamp, right? But as it turns out, the mother decided to go and have it appraised at another store. And somewhat she thought it was a Tiffany, but the appraiser said no, it wasn't, it was a knockoff. But the two girls, the daughters, decided that they didn't believe it was a knockoff. And they brought it to Antiques Roadshow. Well, in 1999, the lamp was valued between $80,000 and $100,000, and they were hysterically crying because both of them had college loans they needed to pay off. Well, it turns out they didn't sell the lamp. They kept it. 2020, probably 2024. I didn't see the date. I thought it was 2025, but 2024 it was re-evaluated between $250,000 and $300,000. So don't ignore the butt ugly lamp sitting on the sidewalk as you're going down the street. Just know, repeat after me. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my church, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. So, Thanksgiving week, we have, like I said, gratitude evening on Wednesday. If you're not home up to your elbows in stuffing, come on over. And in the past, we've done the I Have a Dream series for Wednesday night. But this week, we want to honor the members of the congregation. And for you to come and step up to the microphone if you're comfortable doing that, and just tell us what you're grateful for the past year. We all have something that we can articulate that we're grateful for. I think it's a good day. It's a beautiful day. Maybe to go down to the beach for a few minutes. Maybe to get out in nature for a few minutes. And all I know for sure is I can hardly wait to see what the spring brings with the rains that we've had and the beautiful flowers. Reverend Nancy, come on up and treat us out. I think I'm done, aren't I?
Yes.
Yes, okay, good.
We are very grateful. Stop. I am very grateful for the opportunity to share this service with each one of you, and knowing that we're leaving here with a more appreciation for the oneness of the universe, even in the bugs, and knowing and understanding that in that appreciation we open our consciousness to invite the love, the joy, the peace, the harmony, and the beauty of being to manifest. And as we do this, we know that it's not only ourselves that has been blessed, but all those around us. And we are grateful, so grateful, to know and to love and to be one with each and every person, each and every expression, each and every manifestation of life that there is. So with this in mind, we walk from this experience being enriched, and together we acknowledge the enrichment as we say, and so it is.
All right, you guys, do you want to join in circle? Help me sing this peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, united all are we. Let's live with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow to take